It's Wednesday, so we have Zach here for our YouTube channel. Anybody want to be featured on the YouTube channel? Lil-Rod, you want to be on?
Yes, I'd love to be in it.
Come on. I would love to have you on. I'd love to have you on. Lil-Rod, indomitable spirit, very, very applicable to our friend. Okay, guys, we're going to start in like a mid-game. It's a very, very common situation where Lil-Rod is going to have a Kimura grip on the top of North-South. And then we're going to discuss what some of his options are, some pluses and minuses, and then we're going to see actually an escape from me when he eventually armbars me. But let's start in the North-South position. So if Lil-Rod has me in a Kimura from the North-South, right over here, let's pause for a second. So here, right now, for the time being, this is very, very common. He doesn't have this arm controlled, right? He doesn't have a staple line. It would be different if he stapled it with this knee, right? That would be way different. That's a different position, right? And my lower half is free as well, okay? His hips and his legs not following me. So here, this is a gamble for Lil-Rod. He can look to finish me. He can look to put my arm behind my back, tap. But as he's doing that, Lil-Rod, I can also use that to spin and now bring my knee right into his armpit, and I can actually even get him in my own armbar. It looks kind of crazy, but it's very, very possible, and we see this happen all the time, especially if he doesn't let go. But if Lil-Rod is like, oh, I'm about to get armbarred, I'm gonna let go. If he lets go of it, that's good for me because now I just have my guard and now I'm able to play my guard, right? So a lot of times if he goes for the finish right away, it's high risk, high reward. Either he'll get me or maybe I have a chance to escape. So for him, a safer play is gonna be to circle towards my legs, loop my head, right here. Now I can't spin anywhere. Sit, throw his leg over, and now take me towards the bottom hook, put his top hook in, and now he gets his 4 points, and he probably got 3 because he was already on side control. He's probably up 7. He's probably has a huge advantage over me. This is a nightmare to escape because then he has a back seat belt, he has the Kimura grip. And then from here, he could go for the choke, but he's gonna opt to unloop my head. And as soon as he unloops my head, he's gonna go for the armbar. But before that armbar happens, I just wanna talk about a very important detail here, guys, that a lot of people miss. The way Lil-Rod, it's good that Lil-Rod is doing this. So you see how Lil-Rod is giving me his wrist and his forearm? This is not ideal. The reason it's not ideal is because he's not controlling the distance between him and I. Look, I can start to even reach for his head, or I can start to be explosive and get to my knees, and maybe I can turn into a closed guard. Maybe he's gonna armbar me from close guard, but maybe I'm gonna have a chance to escape. So for Lil-Rod, when he's doing the armbar from the back on me, what he wants to do is he wants to give me the tricep. Here, firm tricep. Because now, see, this is further, and watch, I'm gonna go as hard as I can. See, I can't really go, whereas if it's the wrist, now it's gonna be much easier for me to squirm and get back to my knees, right? So it's again very important that Lil-Rod gives me the tricep. From here, he's gonna throw his leg over my face. Bob, go ahead, go. And he's gonna put me into the armbar. So guys, now let's discuss this position. Everything is predicated on my belly button and my hips. So right now, my belly button is facing the ceiling. This is good for Lil-Rod and decent for me. Let's say my belly button is facing Lil-Rod. This is really good for Lil-Rod, really bad for me. The likelihood of him tapping me here is very, very high. Now let's like my belly button away from Lil-Rod. This way. Now this is way better for me and way harder for Lil-Rod. Lil-Rod wants this elbow pit, this right over here, underneath my wrist. So if I'm like this, Lil-Rod, open the Kimura grip and use your elbow pit under my wrist without pulling your arms. So open the Kimura grip, Lil-Rod, let go of the Kimura, take your right elbow pit and trap my wrist. Oh, see, it's like a little bit, exactly. See, it's a little bit out of his reach. Yep. Whereas if I was here, bring the elbow pit under my wrist, beautiful. If he gets this, guys, the likelihood of breaking my grip is very, very high. So by me turning away from him as much as possible, now makes it very difficult for him to bring the elbow pit around my wrist. Also, since this elbow is on the floor for the time being, he cannot cross his ankles underneath my tricep. If he does this, I'm stuck, right? So if I'm able to preemptively get here, my life is gonna be a lot easier. Now, I'm gonna take my elbow and I'm gonna go underneath his ankle and I'm gonna scoop his leg just like this. But guys, you wanna keep this nice and tight. If I'm just like this, relaxed, just take that leg out, Lil-Rod, and then he's going back into the armbar. So as soon as I do a scoop, I wanna just make sure that my legs are nice and tight like this. From here, I'm gonna swing and I'm gonna do a pendulum towards Lil-Rod. Lil-Rod, don't fall, okay? So as I do the pendulum, Lil-Rod's gonna stay seated. What I did was I created a big gap. Jeff, can you show the camera the gap in the class? See that humongous gap that I created? That gap that I created is where I'm gonna look to elbow slip. As soon as I do my elbow slip, guys, it's a very hard thing to see, but it's very important. I'm gonna use my elbow that I just slipped, and I'm gonna be pressing Lil-Rod's hamstring. I wanna push it away. That's gonna give me an easy time to slip my leg on the inside just like this. From here, I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna dig my fingers in the back of his knee. I'm gonna start to build a base. And now, when I come up, I'm in on the, man, this is a heavy leg right here. I'm in on the position that we were looking at my classes last week, all right, where I have a nice scoop. I'm gonna be able to X my hand on the floor. My ear is gonna go to his far shoulder, and I'm gonna check both of his hips on my pass. I'm gonna show a couple of other options in a second, all right? So again, Larad's gonna have a Kimura grip. He's gonna circle towards my legs. He's gonna loop my head. He's gonna throw his leg over, and he's gonna do the chair sit. All right, life is great for Larad. He got points. I'm in big trouble. Now he has an opportunity to go for the finish. He's gonna unloop, give me the tricep, beautiful. Throw this leg over, and as soon as he goes for the armbar, escape starts now. So I'm already turning away from him as much as I can. You see that? I wanna make it harder for him to armbar me for the time being. Elbow, ankle, open my legs, elbow slip. As soon as I do the elbow slip, I'm using my elbow to pass my leg on the inside like this. Another option, guys, is this hand. I'm gonna swim underneath his leg, and I'm gonna go to his hips. As soon as I go to his hips, I'm gonna kick my leg away, build up to a base, and now I'm in a really strong leg drag. So you have this option. If you're a leg lock, you have leg lock options, etc., etc., etc. All right? So guys, what are some ways we can get into this position? Maybe Larad and I are standing. Okay? I get a collar tie, I get a bicep tie, I make him step, I shoot for a single. Larad's gonna push my head to the other side. He's gonna get a Kimura grip. Nice, he's gonna step foot to foot. He's gonna sit down, and he's gonna roll me over, and now he's gonna come up. Looked a little funky, sometimes it's gonna be funky like that, otherwise it could be clean. Maybe, no, you don't gotta, maybe, no, that's it. Maybe I'm in half guard, and I got my Kimura grip on Larad. I got my butterfly hook. I make Larad roll over. I come on top, and I'm in this position here. Maybe I was passing Larad's guard. I forced the top half guard. I had an underhook. I forced top half guard. I switch my base. I get a Kimura grip. I'm using my bottom knee to extract my leg. I start to circle around, and now I'm here. So there's so many different ways from top, from bottom, from standing, etc., that you can get into this position. If you have a way to get there, get there. If not, you can just start in that mid game already. Big Raj, any comments about the Kimura grip?
How to make it better, or just yours?
Any comments about
Just make sure you twist the wrist forward like this.
Keep it a little bit nicer for the camera.
Yeah.
Something positive about the Kimura grip.
Oh, yours is amazing. I learned everything I know from that.
All right, let's give it a try. Let's talk about a few very important details about what's happening here that are going to make it a little bit smoother. So now I'm going to talk from Larad's perspective. So Larad's on his side. Okay, so I have the Kimura grip. Again, very common way, very common position. Just this kind of neutral position right over here. I circle. As soon as I circle, I loop his head. As soon as I loop his head, I sit and I bring my knee right underneath his neck. I bring my elbow nice and tight. So here, guys, for the newer students, Larad, make yourself small here. Bring your elbow and knees, exactly. So for this, you see everyone's gonna make themselves small because they know the second hook is coming, right? So get out of this habit of throwing the leg. You know, it's not gonna work. Since I'm seated on my right hip, it's gonna be so easy for me just to put my foot into that spot. You know, there's always gonna be like a triangle of space right over here in this little pocket. So in that triangle of space, your heel is gonna fit unless you have like a size 15 shoe, all right? If that happens, you could probably kick and it's gonna be even easier, right? No problem. So now look, I'm gonna take him this way. I make myself nice and snug. I put my second hook in. I got my points. Great. Now it's time to finish the fight. So I'm gonna unloop the head, and as soon as I unloop the head again, I'm giving him my tricep as opposed to giving him my elbow. Larad, you feel that? Yep. So I give him my tricep. Larad, turn into me. See, my tricep is blocking his head from coming in. And now, we've seen this before. If you know how to do this, guys. Swipe your training partner into your lap and start to go for the armbar. Guys, at this moment, it's very difficult to finish. Let's just stay here for a second. It's very difficult, guys, to finish the armbar, Chris, with the Kimura grip. Because again, I need my elbow pit around his wrist. So a lot of times here, there's gonna be this battle where I'm reaching and I'm starting to go for it. So you're not gonna stay with the Kimura grip. It's very difficult to break that grip with a Kimura grip. So as I'm trying to do this, it's actually gonna make Larad's life a lot easier to scoop my ankle in between his legs. Don't open your hands. Scoop it and I'll trap it, exactly. Here he's gonna be nice and tight, and now he's gonna do this big pendulum swing. Guys, a lot of people have this tendency of trying to come up. Try to come up a little bit. Keep your hands together, Larad. You never open your hands. Open your hands, Larad. there's gonna be a chance that I still finish you right over here. All right, I can pinch, even if he has my ankle, I can still maybe get it, maybe. All right, but he doesn't want that. If he comes up like this is not good for Larad, because he can escape, but I can take this leg out and revert and go back to his back. So he wants to use the floor as his friend. He wants to, let's just go back to the armbar. He just wants to stay flat, because if his back's on the floor, then how can I take his back? It's gonna be difficult, right? So I'm here, he scoops my ankle, all right? And now he does this big swing. As he does it, don't come up, Larad, stay flat. As he does that swing, now he's gonna elbow slip. Once he elbow slips and his elbow's on the floor, now and only now he can open up his hands. But now look, come back a step. The detail here, guys, is Larad was saying, especially for him, right? He's bigger than I am. His mobility is a little bit limited, maybe with the leg, etc. So he was having a hard time to swim this leg on the inside. See, it's kind of awkward. So that's why he should be using his elbow to push my leg, and then it becomes easy. You see that? Once that happens, then he's gonna switch. He's gonna kick me away, and as he kicks me away, he's gonna build up. But don't do that, Larad. Come, make sure that staple is there. Keep that knee. Go, come up. Yeah, this is so much better. If this is here, I'm so stuck. Put the knee on the floor on the other side where it was about to be. Here, look, I can start to do a reverse hip escape and get my guard back. So for Larad, if he staples my leg, I'm in so much trouble. Now, this is another good detail. It's great that we're here. If the knee is flared, I'm able to sometimes use my elbow to escape. So Larad, make sure your knee, exactly. So there's no space and I'm not able to push it. Now I'm in big trouble. He's gonna now take this hand, put it across my hips, and now he's gonna circle. And as soon as he circles, I'm gonna try to escape, but he has both of my hips controlled, and now he's gonna be able to get a really nice pass, mount on me, take my back, etc. He's gonna be able to do a lot of things, all right? So let's just clean up those couple of details. Let's make it perfect, and then we're gonna roll right out. All right, let's go.